All right, so the alien files have been released. There's a bunch of stuff, and for some god awful reason, I don't give a fuck. I have been wanting to know what was going on with things like that, completely convinced that there's got to be something out there, that there's just so many of these things that have just been unexplained. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And for some god awful reason, I don't give a fuck. Okay. It's all been out there and I haven't even looked. I don't care. Why? You know why. You absolutely know why. Because it's not the information I want. I want to know the stuff that you're not telling us. I want to know about Epstein. I want whoever is responsible to go to prison. I don't care what it hurts. I believe that we will be able to cumulatively keep a government in power, able to do what we require it to do, and get rid of all the pedophiles. I think we can do both of those things. I'm not just sitting here ranting without some response, okay, or some. Where do we go from here? I've got all of my other stuff. A lot of it is rhetoric. A lot of it is just you know ideology. However, I'm also working on the articles of governance that I believe in. I've got 11 of them, and kind of at a wall at the moment. I don't really know how I want to proceed forward with that because it's never really been something that I've always been a Thomas Paine, even if I never succeeded at any of it. But I was definitely not a Thomas Jefferson. And here I am trying to actually be a Thomas Jefferson and a Thomas Paine at the same freaking time. But the fact of the matter is that we are pissed off. All of us are pissed off. 80% of this country is pissed off all the time at the government. Doesn't matter who's in power. So let's freaking do something about this, okay? Let's cumulatively just be underwhelmed by the fact that they released these UFO files, which I kind of think we are. I kind of think pretty much we're all just like, okay, cool. I mean, I do want to know, but it's not what I want to know. And in this world, we all know that there are a bunch of things that are trying to accost our attention away from or towards certain things. And we are not willing to sit here and let them do this when we know that's exactly what they're doing, because this is the absolute most poster child way that they could possibly do this misdirection type shit. It's like, oh yeah, that you care about that. Okay, well here, jingly, jingly, dangly, dangly. Look at this, look at this, look at this. That's exactly what the fuck is going on here, and it's really pissing me off. Okay, and if we allow this most animated way of them to go off and do this to actually hold its power and do what they want it to, and make us not insist on this, okay, I don't care if Marjorie Taylor Greene is telling the truth about Trump saying that it was going to hurt his friends. Okay, I don't care if that's true or not. What I care about is the fact that we were told one thing and now they're doing not just another. They're trying to get our attention away from it. How many times did Trump say that, oh, well, what we have here is you guys just can't let it go. It's stupid. Nothing important happened. We just need to let it go. No. We all know something stupid happened. And it got so freaking stupid that our video games bore a large chunk of it. The modern way that we do online gaming was created by him and the guy from Call of Duty. They were in cahoots. This is how prevalent this is. This has made its way into literally every facet of the lives beyond the citizens, the normal citizens. Everything that we don't touch, he did. And by the way, all of them did. This is a watershed moment. We either get pissed off enough for this, or what we do is we just kind of sit back and let it happen. Okay, I don't know what you want to do, but I haven't been sitting down for a minute. And even if I'm an absolute nobody, I am an absolute nobody amongst a bunch of other absolute nobodies who are all pissed off. And we're all trying to say something. And when the access to the ability to possibly reach out to the rest of the people at large is so readily accessible to people that are nobodies, there is no way that they can fight this unless they can de-algorithmize one of us or all of us before we ever get that one statement across. But the fact of the matter is that once we get that one statement across, there is literally no stopping it. We are so interconnected, so interweaved, where if something makes sense and gets said, everybody's going to hear it. That's just how it is. And in this world where you guys have, I'm talking to y'all, so let's not do it like that. When they have it so structured to keep us so in line, after a while, they've had to put little patches on things for so long, and it becomes so contrived that there is literally no way that a human group of people can sit there and ignore it. Sociology, society, they act the same in certain situations. And when a grievance becomes inescapable for a human population, we have a history of changing that shit. So I don't want anybody to sit here and think that they're a nobody, because you know what? It doesn't matter if they are or they aren't. The fact of the matter is that they're afraid of the nobodies, because out of the nobodies comes somebody. Okay. So it won't be me, and it probably won't be you, but it will be somebody, because this shit is so freaking bad that they are using the most viral of things to try and bait our attention away. And we're not biting. We are done with this absolute bullshit. And until we find ourselves coming together on the basis that we disagree with them, we can figure everything else out later. We know we don't hate each other. We don't like them. We don't like what they do. And this tactic that they're using right now has been in countless stories, countless movies where the villain uses misdirection by releasing some information about something else that would get everything drawn away from that topic he wants to avoid. Well, here you go. Real life. Okay. We've been having assassination attempts. We've got this crap going on. We've got effectively a world war brewing, which I don't actually think we're that close to a world war. Okay. But we've got a major geopolitical shift happening right now. And even if I think that economically we're going to come out of this phenomenal, we need to, as a people, exercise the power that the founding fathers never thought we would ever give up. And that was the power to put our ideals, our ideology at center frame for our government. That if they are not doing what we want, that we are to do something about that. They wrote it into law on how we are to do this. And they have removed some of these abilities from law. But we still have the power that they derive theirs from, because this government's power is based on the consent of the governed. That is it. That is where the power comes from. And if we don't consent, because guess what? We don't freaking consent. The fact of the matter is that when we finally decide that we are the power, they're done. We have all the tools in our hands. We have the ideologies just kind of floating out there. Every once in a while, we focus on a little piece of it. But if we end up figuring out how close we are to actually having a representative government, how structurally sound a government would be when the people are actually involved with it. Now, we're not talking about everybody having to be, because they won't be, especially after they've spent so many years doing nothing, being complete children to this government. We cannot expect most of the people in this country to do that. However, what we can expect is that there's enough pissed off people out there that even if they really did get used to the whole child thing, they got pissed off and now they're willing to change something. Those are enough people. That's enough people. There is enough disenfranchised people in this country to actually be expectant of a new form of government. I don't even necessarily think that we need to change the whole government, but we do need to do something, and we need to do it really fast, because until we end up coming together with an ideology, because that's what the center doesn't have. Most of us find ourselves in the center, and it has no ideology. It's just I don't agree with my side anymore, and I don't agree with the other either. So I guess I'll sit here and just exist. The center will never change anything when it's like that. But once we have the center going, if we were to all go for something, for all go for something, it would work. But what would that something be? Transparency. Let's start it right now. Let's not be okay with the UFO files cumulatively. Let them see it from. I guarantee that they're not getting the views that they thought they would. Yeah, there's a lot of views going on because it's still alien files and the aliens exist apparently. So, but it's not getting what they want, and everything else is still getting attention. And let's make sure that that happens. Let's make sure that they see this most backpedaling of tactic that they have, because this is not one that they want to use out the gate. They really, this is a last ditch attempt. Let's not let it work. And if we don't let it work, if we stop them in their tracks simply by saying that's not enough, guys, what do we got? We got what we want. We got what we want, because if we can get them to respond to us, we can fix this shit. That's all we need. You guys just need to tell us what the hell is actually going on and respond to us. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace out.